Broadcasting from down on the Bayou, it's the AverageMarks Pro Wrestling Podcast, a proud member of the Roar Network, powered by thegorillaposition.com. And now your hosts, Michael Leander and Patrick Fry.
Welcome to episode 67 of the AverageMarks Pro Wrestling Podcast. We're broadcasting live from the Collar and Elbow Studios. Of course, when you use our code at checkout at collarandelbowbrand.com, you can receive 10% off your entire order. And the great thing about Collar and Elbow, Patrick, they're always having sales. And you get that 10% on their sell price. So you get a mega sale. So go check them out right now. It is awesome wrestling streetwear. I got on my Zach shirt today. It's looking fly as always. And go get you some stuff. Represent Collar and Elbow. Help out Al Snow and his brand. And help out your boys. Because when you purchase something there, they pay us a little bit too.
Absolutely. So it is the AverageMarks episode number, what did you?
67.
67, yeah. But did you say follow us on, did you do the social media thing? Or
follow us on Twitter and Facebook at the AverageMarks. If you want to help out the show monthly, you can give monthly all the way from $1 to $50 a month. Whatever your heart feels. You like our content, you want to support it, we appreciate you. Patreon.com/the AverageMarks. Plus, we got some pretty cool perks on there as well when you come and be a monthly supporter.
Absolutely. So it is the AverageMarks episode number 67 from March 16th, 2019. Today we're going to talk Fastlane. The last time we were doing a show, we did our Fastlane predictions and preview. We'll talk about how that ended up. Also, we will kind of look at the recap the week. We did live streaming on Monday and Tuesday on our channels for we live reacted to Raw and SmackDown, so we'll talk about that and look ahead to what's coming up. Obviously, it's WrestleMania season, so we'll talk about the road to WrestleMania as well. Also, the New Japan Cup, we're right in the middle of it right now. We'll update you the latest on the New Japan Cup. And then Priscilla Kelly and Joey Ryan are at it again, and we'll talk about that as well. Apparently, they had another one of their spots, so to say. Was that last night, or was that was the last couple of nights that happened?
It might have been 2 days ago.
2 days ago, because I saw it actually pop up. It was either last night or this morning. I actually did see it pop up on Facebook, so we will talk about that. Also, some rumor mill stuff as well. Got a couple of rumors as well we'll talk about. And then we're going to have the return of the segment we did a while back. I don't even remember when we did it, some number of episodes ago, but it's called Are They Worth It? They released, I think it was the 2018 base salaries for all the WWE superstars.
Yes.
So we'll play that game where basically you will tell me a name, and then I guess I'll come up with a number in my head of what I think they're worth, and then you'll tell me, and then I don't know, we'll figure it out along the way. We'll
play it by ear.
Yeah, we'll play it by ear. So that's everything that we're going to talk about today on the AverageMarks, episode number 67 from March 16th, 2019.
Right, the main hub where you can find us online, www.AverageMarks.com. Again, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at the AverageMarks. We do a lot of content on there as well. And yes, Marcus, we're going to get to Dave's Spit Spot. That's another sick one that we're going to talk about.
Yeah,
we're going to save that for Rumor Mill, because I have some Rumor Mill about the brothers over there in Impact Wrestling.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's dive into the first one. Fastlane took place 6 days ago, last Sunday, and it was the final show before WrestleMania, the final big pay-per-view, obviously, before WrestleMania, as I pull up the results here. So let me go over the results. Dark Match Big E and Xavier Woods defeated Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura, and then the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, Jimmy and Jey Uso defeated Shane McMahon and The Miz, and then, of course, the big story there, Shane McMahon turning heel on The Miz, attacking The Miz, and attacking George. Is that his name? George Mizanin? Is that his name? With his potato face? Shane,
oh, dang.
Shane was hitting some low blows on old George, I tell you what. And then the SmackDown Women's Championship, Asuka defeated Mandy Rose, thanks to the help of, I guess, of Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville kind of screwed Mandy Rose there, so I wonder what's going to happen with Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. They're so close, and I think that's going to that could drive a wedge between them, so we'll see what happens with them. And then this was an impromptu match. There was a lot of changing, like last-minute changing going on at Fastlane, I found on Sunday, and this was one of them. Obviously, Kofi Kingston is the center of talk on SmackDown these days with his situation in the WWE Championship, him getting his shot at the WWE title. And on Sunday at Fastlane, he was requested to go visit Mr. McMahon, and Mr. McMahon basically told him that this is exactly what he said, something along the lines of the WWE Championship will be a triple threat match, but he never said Kofi Kingston would be in it. And then he told Kofi, he said, you better go down to the ring because I think he said like your match is next or that match or something. So Kofi goes down to the ring, and then the announcer is informed that the WWE Championship match will take place later on in the night. Out comes the Bar in a 2-on-1 handicap match where Sheamus and Cesaro can fight Kofi Kingston at the same time. They don't have to tag each other in. So it was an absolute beatdown by the Bar. Xavier Woods and Big E tried to come down to the ring, and then Rusev Nakamura came down and attacked them. So it was basically like a 4-on-3, and they just got beat down. Sheamus and Cesaro defeated Kofi Kingston. It was about a 5-minute match there. And then the Raw Tag Team Championships, which was actually a really good match. I will say this, the Raw Tag Team titles, as of late, they've been it's been a little lackluster, I guess you could say, the tag division overall, and then they added Aleister Black and Ricochet. But Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson retained by pinning, I think it was one of them pinned Chad Gable. So Aleister Black and Ricochet weren't even involved in the decision, and Dash and Wilder, the Revival, they retained. They wrote it wrong right here. They wrote WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships, but it's the Raw Tag Team Championships. Another match that was somewhat of an impromptu match. Samoa Joe had to defend his United States title against Andrade, R-Truth, and Rey Mysterio. Originally, Andrade and Rey Mysterio were going to go one-on-one in the pre-show, but Samoa Joe retained his United States Championship. Bayley and Sasha defeated Nia Jax and Tamina. And after that match, it was interesting. There was a little confrontation with Tamina and Beth Phoenix and Nia Jax. So wonder if Beth Phoenix is going to maybe come out of retirement and maybe get involved in this women's tag team division or a women's tag team championship match somehow. We don't know how they're going to play that. We'll talk about that coming up. Daniel Bryan defeated Kevin Owens and Mustafa Ali, who was added to the match very, very late. They literally did not know Mustafa Ali was going to be in the match until the match was pretty much he came out for the match. Becky Lynch defeated Charlotte Flair via disqualification thanks to outside interference from Ronda Rousey. She basically came down, and Charlotte had her in a figure eight, and Ronda comes down and basically dropped some kind of like elbow or forearm on Becky and just did it once and like stood up, and it, was like, all right, we got Becky wins. Becky's in the match at WrestleMania, and that's basically what it was. She came down and, Becky won the match. Becky is now in the triple threat at WrestleMania, or triple threat mania, as the WrestleCast guys like to put it. So Becky Lynch defeated Charlotte Flair via disqualification thanks to the help of, or I guess lack thereof, help of Ronda Rousey. And then the main event, it was Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins as the Shield for one final time. At least it was billed as the final time, and they defeated Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre, which was another awesome match. That match went on for almost 25 minutes, so that was an awesome match there. So overall, Fastlane was a good show. It wasn't a great show, but I'm really excited for WrestleMania. There were a couple of good matches. I have high praise, like I said, for the Raw Tag Team title match, and then the main event, the Shield versus Corbin, Lashley, and McIntyre was also really, really good as well. So what are your thoughts from Fastlane?
Didn't watch it.
No, you didn't. Well, you watched some of it, didn't you?
No. I watched a little bit of you live streaming it. I was trying to find the comment right here that Tamina made about Beth Phoenix. Oh, here it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Tamina Snuka says, it was about Natalya. Natalya's better off going to play with her P word than messing with her.
But was she talking about...
No. It was about a cat.
Yeah, it was about her cats, And, so you do the math, and you know what she said. So, man, I tell you what, it's funny you say that because, with the whole Ronda and Becky thing on Twitter, they've been throwing some haymakers on Twitter. And now that, to me, looks like another haymaker, and to me, Tamina does nothing for me. I think Tamina does nothing for a lot of wrestling fans. But to me, allowing wrestlers to do that, because you can't, obviously WWE product is PG. You can't say that on WWE television.
How many people do you think are following these superstars that are children?
I mean,
do you have to be a certain age to have a Twitter account?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I've been having a Twitter account since I was, I think, 17 or 18. So, I mean, I don't know if, But at the end of the day, I like the fact that they do these things on Twitter because there's a lot of times where, Tamina, how much character development has Tamina had on WWE television? None at all. So allow these superstars to, be themselves on, kind of like we were watching that WWE Watch. Well, I was watching WWE Watch Along the day after, and then they took it down because Nigel McGuinness dropped an F-bomb. But I was watching this Watch Along thing, and it was like all these superstars were backstage kind of, just chilling and conversating with one another. And I was like, this is really cool because I feel like this gives them a platform to develop themselves, and get people watching and stuff like that. And I feel like using, social media like Twitter and her saying stuff like that, granted, that's not, obviously they're not, best friends. So saying something like that, kind of helps you develop their character a little bit. It might not be developing in the direction that a lot of folks like, saying that word, but it's, to me, I like it because it kind of stirs the pot a little bit, and it just allows some of these people like Tamina, who I feel do not get to develop their character enough on television, they can develop it on a social media platform, so to speak. So that's just my opinion on it.
And the cats must be big in the Hart family because Teddy Hart has tons of cats too. He breeds them, and he brings his cats wherever he goes.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
But another thing, another thing I wanted to say, Rhonda, she pretty much turned heel on YouTube and Twitter before she did in the ring.
Yeah, she kind of did, and part of me, a lot of folks are talking about if that's a shoot, if Rhonda was told to do that. I would not be surprised if Rhonda was told to do that. If she,
it's not a shoot because
it's got to be. I mean,
in her YouTube series, she's eating with
Natalia,
and another one she's eating with Charlotte.
Yeah.
So way to break every kayfabe rule, Ronda Rousey. Is somebody in WWE going to protect the business? Anybody?
Well, we know that you have no love lost for Ronda Rousey. That is for sure. And I don't know, I don't know what they're trying to do with, maybe they're trying to make, and you know what? If they're trying to make Ronda hated, then they're doing a good job of it. That's for sure. Because at this point, you gotta, like you were talking about, they building her now as they could have built her as like this big face where she's good with the fans, but when she steps in the ring, she flips a switch and she just turns into a badass. And and she. To me, that was always kind of like that. Like when she got in the ring, and granted, she still needs work in the ring. She's not exactly perfect, but she's getting better, in my opinion, a little bit. And now she's been here for about a year. WrestleMania will be her 1 year since her in-ring debut. So I don't know. I have mixed feelings about Ronda Rousey. Anytime she comes on TV, though, I'm watching, and that because she's got the name power, she's got the recognition, and when hopefully Becky Lynch, pins her at WrestleMania, that will. Bring Becky Lynch into into even bigger spotlight than she's already in. And I don't know what they're trying to do with this, this whole build up to this women's triple threat match has just been, it's like a circus. Becky.
So if Becky wins it, does she go to Raw?
Oh, she would have to. I mean, she's the Raw Women's Champion. She would have to go to Raw, which I'd be okay with that because obviously I think. And we don't know what Ronda Rousey's status is, but if Ronda Rousey, let's say she stays with WWE past WrestleMania, when SmackDown goes to Fox in October, I'm pretty sure they want Ronda Rousey on SmackDown to be on Fox. But right now, there's a lot of talk on if Ronda's actually going to stick around after WrestleMania, so we don't know what that's going to look like.
And speaking of WrestleMania, the way they're booking this, I mean, because wrestling's all about storytelling. It's good versus evil. Who are you going to, obviously people are going to probably, like you, want to go for Becky Lynch, but you got two straight heels, and then you got a tweener. Where's the face?
Uh-huh. What, Marcus Talbot said, this is the Ronda I always wanted to see, the HBIC. Yeah, you're right. And then Ryan Bowman, what's up with the big circle window? Looks like you guys are broadcasting live from the Death Star. Well, as you can see, there's people walking in the Death Star. There's a guy walking down there. I don't know. It's the lighting. It's the lighting coming in. I don't know. We haven't. But as long as I guess you could see us, we were hoping that, when we set this up, weeks ago, that you'd be able to see the road
lake
and the lake behind us, and the lighting is just not quite there for it.
We're
at least not right now. So
top floor, the Collar and Elbow Studios.
Yes, sir. So this is the best view out of any window in our studio. So of course we're gonna pick it, even though you can't really. Let's see if I can scoot in a little bit here, and maybe nope, it won't. All right, so
it just got brighter.
Yeah, it did get brighter. So, but yeah, so Ronda Rousey, and I agree with Marcus. I'm actually kind of liking this Ronda because and I agree with you. The whole breaking kayfabe thing. We can go without that, but I like the fact that she's coming in the ring and she's like saying, "I could smash any of these girls. I'm a legit fighter, and that's cool. Like, I can, because she was a UFC champion, obviously. So,
but the reason why we watch wrestling, it's two things. One, because they're amazing athletes, and two, it's to suspend disbelief.
Yeah.
It is to believe in these characters. It's not for a character to tell us it's fake. We know it's fake, but we want to suspend our disbelief for 3 hours on a Monday and 2 hours on a Tuesday and for God knows how many hours on a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Because it's our thing. It's our jam.
Yeah,
and you're poo-pooing on it, Rhonda.
Yeah, and you talk about disbelief. What was it?
Suspend your disbelief.
Suspend your disbelief. And, and the problem with that these days is I feel like we live in a realist kind of era where, the reality of things, I don't know, just kind of makes things go a little bit better. And the fact that Ronda's like, breaking kayfabe, calling Becky Lynch by her real name and this and that, like, I don't know, it's drawing more attention, whether it's negative or whether it's good. At the end of the day, WWE, they're all about drawing attention to something. Well, they don't care what it is. And it's not, I mean, granted, it's negative attention, but it's not. It's good negative attention, I guess, for if you're WWE, because you want Ronda to be hated, and they know now that with Ronda's breaking kayfabe and all this, that the fans just can't stand her.
But it was such a time-honored tradition, dude. Like back in the day, heels and faces, they couldn't even be in the same area code. Like, they had to stay, like, they couldn't stay in the same hotel. They couldn't hang out with each other. If you did, the promoters would fine you heavily.
See, Marcus says CM Punk broke kayfabe many times, and look what he did for his career in the WWE. See, and that's the thing. I agree with Marcus.
Yeah, but did CM Punk ever say, by God, this whole thing is fake?
No, I don't think he ever did it to the extent that Ronda did. But remember when CM Punk dropped the pipe bomb, and it was kind of like,
yeah, but I mean,
he was kind of like a shoot, and I'm not necessarily saying you have to break kayfabe, but when you come out there and you just shoot from the hip, like literally a shoot, to me that instead of it being scripted, if somebody comes out there and has a shoot promo, that makes things would make things so much better, in my opinion. I'm not saying you can still have a shoot promo without breaking kayfabe, if that makes sense. So
you can.
So, but I'm enjoying it for now, as long as Becky Lynch pins Ronda Rousey. I don't know if that's going to happen. I think that might be part of the reason they put Charlotte Flair in there. But as long as Becky wins, Becky should win. And speaking of Becky winning, they have the 3 big matches at WrestleMania. You got the WWE Championship, which we expect Kofi Kingston to challenge for, and then you have Seth and Brock. And the 3 big wins would be Seth, Kofi, and Becky. That would be the 3 huge wins. It'd be, I mean, what a WrestleMania that would be. But now there are people talking about one of those people are not going to walk out with their champion with the championship. A lot of people think it could be Kofi Kingston. Some people think Brock, if he sticks around, could somehow beat Seth and continue on as Universal Champion. Let's see what the chat's starting to light up here with Marcus and Ryan. Let's see. This is what Ryan said. Rhonda saying that it is that is like watching the Fast and the Furious and seeing the cars being carried by cables. He also said, the car can't do 5 flips and then keep going, but you want to believe it can. Big difference between breaking kayfabe and keeping it real. So, and then what did Marcus say? Oh, yeah, seeing how CM Punk had broke kayfabe and look what it did for his WWE career. So, I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know. Like I said, the whole WWE women's Raw Women's Championship feud and build up to WrestleMania has just been kind of a circus, honestly.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm almost done with it.
Well,
they've drawn it out too long.
Yeah. And CM Punk did a promo with Triple H before. In the promo, he isn't CM Punk. He said this is Phillip Brooks talking to Paul Levesque, and yeah, I know exactly what promo you're talking about, Marcus, because Triple H and CM Punk apparently never did like each other.
Yeah, but you know what? But that to me isn't so much egregious, because everybody knows they have stage names, and pretty much everybody knows their real name.
Yeah.
Even back in the day when kayfabe was strong, you had your magazines and your dirt sheets and stuff like that, and people knew their names.
Oh yeah.
But going as far as Ronda Rousey, it's just very disrespectful to me.
Absolutely. So, but yeah, unless, like you said, and they talk about how Vince has done that before too. Vince is.
Oh yeah, he's the one that came out and said it was fake.
Yeah, and Vince
jerk.
Yeah, so and
we all knew that. You didn't have to say it.
Yeah, So I don't know. We'll see what they do with this Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair thing. It's been quite the circus, to say the least. But as long as Becky Lynch walks out Raw Women's Champion, then I think it'll all be worth it. Because that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants Becky Lynch to win. And we talked a little bit about the other matchups earlier here. Let me see here. Okay, we talked about Fastlane. Went over Fastlane just a little bit. Now, the week recap, of course, on Raw, The Shield gave their farewell address, so to speak, and they kind of went their own ways. And now it looks like Seth's obviously going to go on, face Brock. Dean, we don't know what Dean's doing yet. Roman, we don't know what Roman's doing yet. Obviously, he's sticking around with WWE, but we don't know what his WrestleMania match is going to be. I think it's going to be against Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre attacked him on Raw, and I think they played the angle that he got beat up and he's still kind of weak, I guess, from the leukemia. So because he was supposed to go one-on-one with Baron Corbin, and if I'm looking on the bright side here, at least that didn't happen. And Roman got attacked by Drew McIntyre. He Claymore kicked him once, and then Claymore kicked him into the ring post. So he Claymore kicked him, head bounced off the ring post, and then Rollins comes down and checks on him. Dude, you okay? I think you need to go see the trainer. Just be careful. Basically being overcautious about it. And then they show him backstage, and then Dean's there, and Dean, Seth and Roman walk into the trainer's office, and then you see Dean. He's about to go in there, but then he looks around, and I guess he saw Triple H walking, and he storms to Triple H. He said, I want Drew McIntyre in a match right now. No holds barred, false count anywhere. I want him right now. And he said, all right, you got it. And him and Ambrose tore it down, and McIntyre actually won the match. McIntyre, Claymore kicked Dean Ambrose, had his head through like a railing, and Claymore kicked him.
Yeah, saw that.
And then and Drew McIntyre won the match. So now Seth Rollins will go one-on-one with Drew McIntyre this week on Monday Night Raw. And I don't know how they're going to play that, because you got to build up Seth for Brock, but you also want to build up Drew McIntyre if he's going to go up against Roman Reigns to make him look like he can beat Roman Reigns, because, I have a feeling if they go one-on-one, Roman's going to win that match. But then maybe not. I don't know. So I'm interested to see how they play that going forward, but I think Drew and Roman's going to go at it one-on-one at Mania. Let's see what they're looking at here, or what they're talking about. Marcus, let's see, he did the promo. Ryan Bowman said, I think playing up backstage politics is way different than just outright calling it fake. Yeah, you definitely. Absolutely, I agree with that. Marcus, if they didn't want to break kayfabe, Total Divas, Total Bellas, and Miz and Mrs. would never exist. And then Pro Wrestling Roundabout is in the chat.
Casey Jones.
He said, your champ still dodging us? Oh.
The champ's not dodging you. The champ speaks whenever he wants to speak.
And Brink right now, I guess he's, I don't know. I haven't heard from him either. So he's
the champ has commitments, okay? When you're the champ, when you're actually the double champ, because he's WrestleCast champ too, you have commitments.
And NXT, so he's a triple champ, actually.
This kid is jet-setting all around the world, flashing gold, making chicks wet, and doing his thing.
All right. Well, hey, that's why I wish I had them championships, just for that one reason you said. But I don't know. I guess we're going to hear from Brink very, very soon.
Very soon.
But as Batista said, Brink's going to do this on his terms.
Yeah.
So Brink's doing this on his terms.
We're not going to give you what you want.
So, all right.
Now, okay, real quick.
Yeah,
to
go ahead.
add fuel to the fire, and I probably shouldn't even say this because I don't know where to reference it from. I saw it on Twitter. Some female wrestler said on Twitter or somewhere that while Roman was on his leukemia break, that he was actually filming a movie. Did you hear that?
He did film part of a movie with The Rock, with Hobbs and Shaw. He did.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah.
Okay.
That's true.
So does that make fuel on any type of fire?
No.
He did not have leukemia.
Dude, he had leukemia. Granted, leukemia, people can stop talking about this because the dude had leukemia years ago, and it was actually brought up before he actually ever announced leukemia. It was brought up in an article back when that saying Roman Reigns had an illness after he was done playing football at Georgia Tech, and then it's back. Now, and that's the thing. He fought it and beat it last time, which obviously it didn't really, it didn't seem like it really affected him negatively the first time. So why? I mean, was anybody expecting him to come back looking all like, I don't know.
I guess what people are saying is that the remission statement came pretty quick.
I mean, it came 5 months. I mean, look, sometimes it comes quickly. Sometimes it could be a false alarm. We just don't know. And considering Roman Reigns, for all we know, it might have been a false alarm. It might have been, or it might have been a very, very minor, thing of leukemia. I know nothing.
Like at the very beginning.
I know nothing about it, but I know better than to think that Roman Reigns or anybody would have said, "Hey, we're gonna say you have leukemia just to see if we can get you over," or whatever the case may be. So, but Roman did it. I mean, I don't know. So I think he had leukemia. I think it was legit. He went, he fought it, he kicked its ass, and he's back now. So let's move on, and let's just appreciate the fact that Roman Reigns is back because he is a great talent. And now I feel like, people will appreciate him a little more now. But those people saying he didn't have money and the backing now, he had it back then, so we was able to get it quicker. Yes, that's the thing. Like back then, he didn't have the money and all this stuff, and now he's got all these resources with WWE and all that. And then when he came back, he also said how he was going to use the platform of WWE to raise awareness for leukemia. So that's another good thing too. So at the end of the day, whatever you want to say about him, they're going to do good with this, and they're going to, turn it into a positive, obviously. And he's going to use his story to help others, and because they go visit leukemia patients all the time and all this other stuff, and they go visit all the sick kids and all that. So, look, just leave the dude alone. As far as whether or not, if you want to debate whether or not he had leukemia, just let it be. He had leukemia, whether you think he did or not, and he's back now. Fortunately, he's back, and hopefully he stays healthy. So. So I don't know. Anybody who's trying to, I don't know. They're just haters, I guess. All right, so let us continue now. Back where we were talking. So we were talking about basically, the week recap, looking ahead. Also on, let's see, back on SmackDown. What happened on SmackDown? We live streamed it, and I'm trying to, kind of remember. So Kofi Kingston, trying to figure out. Basically, Kofi Kingston had his. Mr. McMahon said, "Well, I'm going to give you an opportunity to perform at WrestleMania." So this coming week. On SmackDown, Kofi Kingston's going to have to go through a gauntlet of people. He's going to have to go through Randy Orton. He's going to go through The Bar. He's got to go through Eric Rowan. And I'm trying to think who else. He's got to go through like 5 people in a gauntlet. And if he can defeat all 5 people, he will get a WWE title shot I think he'll get a WWE title shot at WrestleMania. Randy and AJ. Oh, yeah, we got to talk about Randy and AJ too. Yes. How could I forget, Marcus? So Kofi Kingston's going to get his shot this Tuesday on SmackDown. This past Tuesday, though, on SmackDown, one of the best promos I've seen in a long, long time. I showed you a little piece of it with Randy Orton and AJ Styles went back and forth. AJ and Randy, I think, has been made official also for WrestleMania, so those two will go head-to-head at WrestleMania. I cannot wait to see the build-up for this match because they've built it up enough already, in my opinion, with the promo they had on Monday Night Raw. Of course, you saw the one about, Randy Orton was complaining how AJ, says SmackDown Live is the house that AJ Styles built, and then Randy Orton was giving us a little history lesson as far as AJ Styles' career and his own career, and how in 2002, while AJ was,
getting $10 bookings in a high school.
$10 bookings in a high school gym. Randy Orton was making his WWE debut, and then how he was down in Florida getting a tan with Dixie Carter, and then at the same time, Randy Orton was fighting The Undertaker at WrestleMania, and he became, the youngest WWE champion ever, while AJ was, in Ring of Honor and all this other stuff. And so Randy Orton... That promo was gold, Marcus. I agree with you. The promo was gold. And then AJ comes out, and AJ says, "Yeah, but along your career, you've had a lot of babysitters. You remember Evolution?
Oh.
You remember." He's like, "Yeah, you've learned." Who else? He said, "You remember, Rated RKO? You remember Legacy?" He's like, "You had a lot of babysitters. It's like even the Wyatt family, you had to carry you and all this other stuff." And and then basically said the RKO was a rip-off Diamond Cutter. Oh dude, I'm telling you, it got, and to quote AJ, my indie, and then he was talking about like his indie friends and stuff, and AJ was like, "Well, you talk about my indie friends, look around the locker room, you're surrounded by them now," and all this other stuff, and it was talking about, AJ talked about Randy Orton ripping off the Diamond Cutter, and he was like, "So you mean to tell me you and your indie friends never ripped anybody off?" And then he does this. He does.
Oh, Oh, snap.
He does like that, and I'm thinking, dude, the back and forth with those two were amazing. It was the best promo.
Holy cow,
it was
I'm gonna have to look that up.
It was the best promo. I'm telling you, it was the best promo First of all, it was the best promo I've ever seen from Randy Orton, and it may have been the best promo ever I've seen from AJ Styles, at least in WWE. I mean, that promo was amazing. Like, that's one of the matches I'm really looking forward to, because I know AJ can go. We know Randy Orton can go, and I would love to see those two guys, and WWE has a lot of faith in those two guys, and I'm hoping those two, WWE just kind of lets them go and tell their own little story, and dude, because that promo was amazing.
Yeah,
that was my favorite part of the week, Raw and SmackDown, was that promo, AJ and Randy. So, Marcus, thank you for bringing that up, because I almost forgot about it. So, the AJ Styles, Randy Orton promo on SmackDown Tuesday, my God, it was so awesome. So, I can't wait for that match.
You might say it was phenomenal.
It was phenomenal. So, so coming up this week, though, as we go back to Raw, Ronda Rousey will defend her Raw Women's Championship. We talked about her a little bit earlier. She will defend against Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke kind of came out and, was basically saying how, Ronda, you normally give an open challenge, but heel Ronda's not going to give an open challenge. So, so she kind of came out and somewhat got in Ronda's face, and Ronda just kicked the hell out of her. And but this week, Dana Brooke's going to get her Raw Women's Championship opportunity. Seth Rollins will take on Drew McIntyre. Kurt Angle will also announce his WrestleMania opponent. I think it's down to 6 people. Kurt Angle did announce this past week that he is going to basically retire at WrestleMania. His final match will be at WrestleMania. We don't know who it's going to be against. Right now, it looks like it's either going to be John Cena, Samoa Joe, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, or Baron Corbin. I think those are the 5 guys. God. Yeah, a lot of folks, I've been looking online, a lot of folks are saying anybody but Corbin.
Please.
But I'm hoping it's John Cena.
It's a man's last match. Give him Cena.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Give him Cena, because Cena had Angle in Cena's first match in WWE. I think it would be just a great way to go out, and Cena would gladly do the honors and put over Angle in his final match, I think.
Oh, most definitely.
So Cena, but then again, I don't know. I was talking about what if, Kurt Angle went up against Undertaker at Mania and Undertaker beat him. There's no shame in going out, losing out on your final match. I mean, some of the greats, Stone Cold lost at WrestleMania, his final match. Ric Flair lost to Shawn Michaels, obviously, his final match at WrestleMania. Shawn Michaels, his final match at WrestleMania, which, they had the match at Crown Jewel. He came out of retirement, but I'm not counting that one. Lost to Taker. So Flair, Austin, and Michaels, they all lost their final match at WrestleMania. And for a second, we thought The Undertaker would have lost his final match at WrestleMania, but then he beat Cena last year. So I don't know what they're going to do. I'm hoping, though, like you said, I hope it's Angle and Cena. I would love to see that one more time, because Kurt Angle has had a Hall of Fame career. He's in the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. He's had a tremendous career, and so just sad to see him go, but he wrestled his final match in Pittsburgh on Monday night. Monday Night Raw was in Pittsburgh. He fought Apollo Crews, so Apollo Crews got to do the honors and fighting Angle on his final match in Pittsburgh. So that was, I'm sure, really cool for Angle. Also, Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush will take on Finn Balor and a partner of his choosing. And also, it looks like Brock Lesnar will appear on Raw, which will be held in Chicago, too. So Monday night's going to be rocking, I have a feeling, in Chicago. So that's what we look forward to. And then, of course, Tuesday, you have the gauntlet match with Kofi Kingston. Let's see what they're saying here. What's Marcus saying? When AJ mocked Randy's pose. Oh, yeah, and also AJ had mocked Randy's pose. He's like, he said, Randy, you think you would have made it in the Indies doing this? And then he did the pose. Dude, it was amazing. So, and Marcus Talbot, Jason Jordan returns as a heel and kicks his butt. Whose butt you talking about there? Oh, Kurt Angle. So Marcus Talbot saying Jason Jordan return. Can you imagine?
Dude, that would be epic too.
After the whole Sun storyline? Oh my goodness, I'll talk about. All right, so we talked enough about WWE for now. Let's dive over to New Japan, because we have still a few more things to get to here, and I know that.
While you're covering that, I'm going to have to plug up this laptop.
Go ahead. All right, so I'm going to talk quickly about New Japan Cup. Obviously, is well underway. The first round has been completed. Tomohiro, I'm going to just go over the first round and then go over what's happened so far in the second round for anybody who has not been caught up. First round, night 1, Tomohiro Ishii defeated Yuji Nagata. Taichi defeated Tamaoki Hanma. Yoshihashi defeated Manabu Nakanishi. Chase Owens, in what was somewhat of an upset, defeated Juice Robinson. And then night 2, Kazuchika Okada defeated Michael Elgin. Mikey Nichols defeated Hikuleo, said it right. Will Ospreay defeated Bad Luck Fale. Lance Archer defeated Toa Hinari. Night 3, Hiroshi Tanahashi defeated Shota Umino. Ryusuke Taguchi defeated Hiroyoshi Tenzin. Kota Ibushi defeated Tetsuya Naito and was probably the most anticipated first matchup in the first round of the New Japan Cup. Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Evil. Of course, Zack Sabre Jr. is the defending champ. Colt Cabana defeated Togi Makabe. This is night 4. Toru Yano defeated Davey Boy Smith Jr. Minoru Suzuki defeated Satoshi Kojima. And then Sonata defeated Haruki Goto. As we go now to the second round. The final night of the second round is tonight, as a matter of fact, I believe, or later tomorrow morning here in the States. Tomohiro Ishii defeated Taichi. Yoshihashi defeated Chase Owens. Kazuchika Okada defeated Mikey Nichols. Will Ospreay defeated Lance Archer. Hiroshi Tanahashi defeated Ryusuke Taguchi. Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Kota Ibushi. So that sets up now quarterfinals. 3 quarterfinal matchups have been set. Tomohiro Ishii and Yoshihashi. Kazuchika Okada and Will Ospreay, which I have a feeling will be a match of the year candidate.
Tear the house down.
And Hiroshi Tanahashi and Zack Sabre Jr. will be another fantastic matchup. And then the next night, which I think is tomorrow morning, Colt Cabana, Toru Yano, and then Minoru Suzuki and Sonata will be the other matchups to determine who will fill out the final quarterfinal spot of the New Japan Cup. And, of course, we did our New Japan Cup special, Cruz, Brink, and myself. Cruz and Brink have Will Ospreay winning the whole thing. I have Kazuchika Okada winning the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And so it's going to come down.
2 great choices.
So it's going to come down to this matchup right here, basically, Okada and Ospreay. We were in the chat last night.
Riding on it.
And I was talking about if Okada wins this match, we've done 2 non-WWE scorecards. We did All In, and then now we've done New Japan Cup. I won All In, and now if Okada can defeat Will Ospreay, I will be on my way to going 2-0 in non-WWE scorecards. So just throwing that out there. So I know, and Brink wasn't too happy about that, but let's see what Marcus has to say. Really, we will really see Brock and his fake title, or will it be another dumb video? Well, I don't know. We'll see. I would think, it's 3 weeks out from WrestleMania now, pretty much. So hopefully Brock will be there. Because I'm thinking he'll be there this week, not next week, and then the go home show. He'll definitely be there for the go home show. Obviously, you have to think. So I don't know. And I also like the little promo back and forth that Rollins and Heyman did on Monday Night Raw. But we'll talk more about all that. We talked plenty about WWE. So we only have, I think, we still got about. I'm trying to think when we started the stream. I'm trying to think because we got to time it out, and I forgot to time it out. And I think it was about 11:23, so about 12:23 we got to get out of here. So we got about 22 minutes left. Yeah. So let's dive into now Priscilla Kelly.
Oh, God.
So tell us more about, obviously, the last couple of days, Priscilla Kelly and Joey Ryan. Another one of their, Priscilla Kelly's at it again. Of course, she had the tampon spot, and now there's another. Taste the tuna? Yeah, now there's another spot out there, and go ahead. I know you have strong feelings on this, so go ahead and bring the folks up to speed who may not be aware of what Priscilla Kelly has done again.
Right. So it was an intergender match with Joey Ryan. So he puts her on his shoulders, gives her the whirly bird, which obviously makes her nauseated, and then she pulls a draws while she pulls his draws. Mm-hmm. You remember draws?
Yeah, draw. Oh yeah, draws. D-R-O-Z. Yeah, oh yeah.
Something.
He was one half of the Headbangers, huh?
No.
Oh no, that's a different guy.
Yeah.
No, the Headbangers were.
He was the guy that could puke on demand.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I would not want that. Mm-mm.
Well, anyways, she pulled a draws while she pulled Joey Ryan's tights open, and she puked on his wiener.
Yeah, and
then she started spitting puke everywhere.
Oh yeah, dude. And you know what?
On the ring, that better have been the main event. If that wasn't the main event, when she got back there, I would have 300 kicked her in the chest.
Oh, that's and I don't know where.
What promoter lets you throw up on their ring?
That's
I'd be like, you're not doing that spot in the ring.
Oh no,
you better be out the ring when you throw up.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm doing that in my ring.
Yeah, that's and I don't like the whole throwing up thing. And like obviously if you can make it look, like it's not real throw up, then yeah, it's different, I guess.
No. She can puke on demand.
Oh, and then the tampon thing and now the puke thing, just I don't know.
Speaking of $10 bookings for the rest of your life, we said last time you're taking $50 bookings. Hopefully you like taking $10 bookings for the rest of your life because you probably just run your chances with AEW. Joey's probably cool. Once he gets out of his Lucha Underground contract, he's probably going to go to AEW because he's cool with those dudes. But you're going to be left out hanging, and I get it. Maybe, just maybe, you don't believe in your in-ring talent, so you think the way that you got to make a name for yourself is viral, shocking video type stuff.
I know, but
maybe you're in the wrong industry, hun.
Well, and the thing is, like I say in pro wrestling, the thing is to get people talking, and this is getting people talking, so I don't know. But Marcus was calling for a rant, which that was pretty much your rant there.
I mean, look, I could go on the rant, but you know what? I'm just going to accept this for what it is. She doesn't have in-ring talent, so she has to do something to make a name for herself. But, I mean, it's only going to be on scummy, independent scene type stuff.
Yeah, and I don't know. I guess I really don't know what to think about it. It's
like you'll never get booked by the big independents like Ring of Honor or Impact or anything like that.
But I guess, you talk about that, and I guess this other stuff's a little different. Like back in the day, you look at a guy like Dean Ambrose. This is her third video, Marcus said. What was it, her third? So she had the tampon, the throw up, and then what was it, a third?
Oh, God. I don't even want to know.
But, doing stuff like that, obviously, it's just disgusting.
Where do you go from here? Like, obviously, she's got to top herself, right?
I guess. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know. I don't really know what to think because, obviously, the most disgusting things I've seen are in the forms of like when Mankind and Undertaker like fought in Hell in a Cell, like that. And that's not necessarily disgusting. That's just like, ooh, like your body just hurts. Whereas the stuff that Priscilla Kelly does just makes you want to puke. And the stuff like when you watch the Undertaker and Mankind's Hell in a Cell match from '98, it's like it's disgusting, but a different kind of disgusting. It's just like, I don't know. I can't think of the word. It's not necessarily gruesome, but I don't know. It's definitely a different kind of disgusting. So I got used to, then of course you have, the people, back in the day, they like in TNA, I think they did like the barbed wire massacre matches where there's just blood everywhere and stuff like that. And I mean, I don't know where you stand on stuff like that because that's obviously a little different than puking in a guy's, trunks. But
yeah.
So I don't know. A lot of things have happened in wrestling over time, but this is like a new kind of just, the whole tampon and then the throwing up in the shorts. I don't know, but but also Joey Ryan. He made her grab a handful before at least she puked on it. So at least he kind of got I guess he got it grabbed on before before he got puked on.
He posted on Twitter the video of her doing the puke, and he put "R.I.P. Wrestling." Way to go, Priscilla.
Marcus Talbert said that she pulls a 2 girls 1 cup, 1 girl 1 ring. God, that's
what is wrong with this chick?
I don't know. This is that's bad. That's bad.
Like, okay, if you're Joey Ryan, you're probably making a $500 to $1,000 booking.
Yeah.
By now on the indie scene,
mm-hmm.
For $500 to $1,000, do you say, okay, I'll let you throw up on my junk?
I mean, for a good chunk of money, how much?
$500 to $1,000 probably is what he's making.
$500,000 or
no, $500 to $1,000 for a booking.
No, you said $500,000. Oh, I'll line them up. Let's go like a $500,000.
No.
Line them up, man. $500,000. I mean, with $500 to $1,000, I'd be good. I would be good on that. That'd be a hard pass from me. So,
oh God.
But yeah, so that is today's edition of what has Priscilla Kelly been up to? So, what disgusting act has she done lately?
God.
All right, let's go now to Rumor Mill.
Yes,
we got some Rumor Mill stuff. So go ahead, tell us what you got in the Rumor Mill there, Mikey O.
All right, so the rumors right now: Stephanie McMahon won't confirm a second Evolution pay-per-view. And it looks like WWE doesn't currently plan to run the show again this year.
I've been hearing that, and it's a
shame.
That is a shame because I I loved Evolution. The first, obviously, the pay-per-view they had back in October, I thought it was awesome. It was a great pay-per-view. I feel like it was a big success. I feel like the main event could have been a little bit better than Nikki Bella taking on Ronda Rousey, but overall, it was a great pay-per-view. Yeah. I have nothing bad to say about Evolution, the original, pay-per-view and all that, and I would love to see them do it again. There's still some time to put it together, obviously, but it doesn't look like they want to, because I also heard that they are vying to get the women to be able to wrestle in Saudi Arabia, and that because honestly, you know what? No, but because you know what? This is my opinion. I feel like the only reason they did Evolution was because the women were not allowed to wrestle in Saudi Arabia, and I feel like that is a big that's my opinion. That may not be true. My opinion, I think they did the Evolution for a big reason. Why is because the women were not allowed to wrestle in Saudi Arabia, but now the WWE, they're trying to get the women, they're trying to vie for the women to be able to wrestle in Saudi Arabia. I don't know if that's going to work. I don't know what's going on there.
Dog, like all those hardline terrorists around that part of the world, that's scary.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, they Saudi Arabia is forking over some moolah for WWE to be going over there with everything that's going on over there. I tell you what, but we don't have to spend too much time talking about that. But yeah. I feel like the reason that Evolution is not going to happen right now is because I think they're trying to vie for the women to wrestle in Saudi Arabia. And I believe one of the main reasons, of course, obviously the women, they're trying to have a women's revolution and all that. One of the reasons why, in my opinion, they had Evolution was because the women were not allowed to go to the Saudi Arabia show, which took place a week later.
Yeah.
So that's just my opinion.
All right, next in Rumor Mill, Wrestling Inc. says Dave and Jake Christ have re-signed with Impact Wrestling, so OVE they're sticking around. Now, speaking of, Marcus talked about the Dave Chris spot. Mm-hmm. So it was OVE, which are the Chris brothers and Sami Callihan. And boy, did he lose a lot of steam since the bat thing.
Yeah.
You don't hear anything about Sami Callihan
absolutely
anymore.
Not.
But against Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah, we're still talking about Priscilla Kelly.
Yes. Tommy Dreamer, Rich Swann, and the NWA, Willie Mack.
Yeah.
Great match. But the spot he's talking about is Dave Christ hawks this cottonmouth loogie on Tommy Dreamer's face. Did you see it?
No, I did not.
It's a big old white glob of spit just hanging on his cheek.
That's disgusting.
And everybody's like, oh, and Tommy Dreamer's like, it's like it's caked on there. Mm-hmm. He's having to like get his fingernails into it and rip it off of his skin. It's like all cottonmouthy and nasty.
Yeah, that's gross.
He looks at it and then he eats it.
Oh, come on.
Tommy.
Well, Tommy Dreamer's that's a crazy SOB right there. I tell you what.
Like out loud, I was like, no,
dude. I would. There's a lot of things like I can stand that. I'd have to turn my head. Marcus, real quick, said like me and him actually talked about it. I think at when they came down to the Civic Center for WWE Live, talking about Evolution. It was a good pay per view and deserves another one. Just like they need a mid card women's championship. I agree, Marcus, on both of those accounts, and I feel like the WWE Women's Division is going to get to a point now where they may have to have their own show.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of women that are, first of all, not being used that should be used.
Would it be televised or just on the network?
It's crazy, but I don't know. I mean, I think, as good as Evolution was, it'd be interesting to see if they can find like a little TV deal to do like a 1 hour show every week, but then again, that takes away... Well, no, I would still do. You could do their own weekly television show, whether it be on TV or the network. I mean, obviously, if they do it on TV, then eventually it'll end up on the network. But and a mid-card championship would be great because right now you have a Raw and SmackDown Women's Championship, but I feel like you need one Women's Championship, and then you get a mid-card championship. Now you have the Women's Tag Team Championship. So yeah, I think there's a lot that could be done with all the women that they have in WWE and all the women that they'll probably continue to sign that are coming up through NXT and developmental. So. I would love to see a women's weekly TV show, and it could be an hour. It could be on the network. It could even be on TV. It could even come on right after SmackDown. Like, it could be like back in the day when Monday Night Raw was Raw and then the War Zone, but it all took place in the same building. It was technically two different shows. So you could do like SmackDown, then like the last hour would be the women's show. Let the women come out and they do their 1 hour show, and boom. I mean, I don't know. They don't ask me, so that's just...
obviously, they're probably pushing to get, you would think NXT like on FS1 or FS2, I'd imagine.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So you would have room on the network to put the ladies show.
Oh,
there.
well, you have room. You could do it. It's your network. You can do whatever you want with it. I mean, you could put the women on a. I mean, obviously you can't. You wouldn't want to do it during Raw, SmackDown, or an NXT. But you could do it on a Thursday, a Friday, even a Sunday, or like I said, right after. Well, now they have 205 Live. I think at 9:00 on Tuesdays, right after.
Yeah, but nobody watches that.
Well, some people watch it, but that's the thing. It's the network. You can do whatever you want and all that stuff. Marcus also said to have the first women's Grand Slams chant would be awesome too. Yes.
Oh, snap!
That would be awesome. Have a women's champ, a mid-card title, and then tag, and Grand Slam champ. That'd be great too. So we'll see. Obviously, there's still a lot that can be done with this women's division in WWE. So we'll see going.
Hey, Marcus,
going
would you have ate that hawker? That Dave Chris.
I'm sure Marcus would not have eaten that. But let's go ahead and
yes, and let's
move on because we're starting to lose time. So let's,
the last one in rumor mill. While the Good Brothers haven't signed a new deal with the WWE, per the Observer, the company is offering deals to anyone with contracts expiring anytime soon, and they could strike a deal to stay. You think they should stay or they should go now?
What? So say that one more time for me.
The Good Brothers.
What about them?
They haven't signed yet.
Yeah, I know they haven't signed, and that's pretty much it.
Well, a few days ago, the rumor was they're not going to sign.
Well, I expect them not to sign.
Where do you think they're going? They're going back to New Japan?
They may go to AEW. I mean, they've been in Japan.
I don't know. They found so much success in the Bullet Club.
Well, here's the thing. You got some Bullet Club members that are now over in AEW. Kenny Omega, the Bucks. You got Cody. You got Hangman. So, hey, look, you got
Yeah.
And then, I mean, look, right now AEW is obviously the hot thing. I mean, there hasn't been much said about AEW lately, but we know that they have their Double or Nothing, and then we know they're going to have a Jacksonville show in July. So that'd be fun to go to, as a matter of fact. But yeah, I think they'll go to AEW or New Japan, one or the other.
Yeah.
That's the only two other options. I don't think they're done in WWE because they've had tag team title runs, but they know that they're going to be extremely over in something like AEW. All right, so we got about 7 minutes left. You ready to do Are They Worth It?
Are they worth it?
All right, let's do it. So you're going to tell me a superstar, and then I'm going to think real quick of a number, and then you tell me what number they make, and I'll tell you whether, like, what I thought of and whether they're worth it.
Yes.
All right.
Randy Orton.
Let me think. I have a feeling I know what he currently makes right now.
You looking at my screen?
No, I'm not. I'm not looking at your screen. I'm looking up. Marcus said F no on that loogie spot, by the way. You couldn't pay me enough to make enough money to do that. There is no price for that. Randy Orton, okay, I got a number.
4.5 mil.
That's too much.
Yeah, exactly.
What's
this guy doing these days?
I would have said like $2 million.
Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe. I think they should pay Samoa Joe more than they're paying Randy Orton, honestly.
Oh, most definitely.
So I'm going to say so I got a number, but I'm sure he's worth more than they're paying him.
800,000.
Yeah, he's worth more than that. He's also, I think he's worth about $2 million. That dude's good on the mic. That dude is a great rest. That dude is great. He deserves more than $800,000.
AJ Styles.
Now, man, AJ's worth a lot. AJ's probably worth more than both of those guys. All right, I got a number in my head.
$2 million.
Oh, pay him more. Pay him more.
Way underpaid.
I'd give him about $3 or $4 million.
Okay, this one surprises me.
Maybe even $5 million for AJ.
Yeah, this surprises me. Sheamus,
he's probably getting underpaid right now, but with what he's doing right now and what he brings, I got a number.
$1 million.
A little too much. I think I would have said about $750,000, $800,000 for Sheamus.
Oh, dude.
Based on what he's doing right now, yeah, little too much, but it's close.
This one surprised me as well. Sin Cara.
Oh Lord. I mean, based on his talent, I know what he should get paid. So he's probably not getting paid what he's worth. So I got a number.
700,000.
Actually, that's a little more than I thought he was getting paid. Actually, so that's actually I think he deserves a little bit more, but I think that's good for what he's doing. I think that's great. That's a great number.
Braun Strowman.
Ooh, Braun Strowman, man. There's a tricky thing about Braun Strowman because nowadays he's almost like just an attraction. Like he's not, he's not an AJ Styles. He's not a Rey Mysterio, but he's like a new kind of Big Show in a way. All right, I got a number.
Okay. What if I tell you that Braun Strowman is making as much as Bo Dallas and Apollo Creed?
Then he's not getting paid enough.
They must have got him on a rookie
Apollo
deal.
Crews, you mean? Not Apollo Creed.
Oh, yeah. Apollo Crews. My bad.
Yeah, he must still be on some kind of rookie. Well,
$300,000.
that's it?
Yes.
He deserves way more than that. Way more than that. My good, it's highway robbery. We haven't seen much of him lately. That's crazy.
Okay, Kurt Hawkins.
Oh, Lord. Considering he's been around for such a long time and considering he just gets his butt kicked, I know what he probably is making. It's probably about what he's worth. So I got a number.
$200,000.
I would have guessed $250,000. So
really?
Yeah. So
to lose all the time?
I mean, WWE's making a lot of money. Like your jobbers are going to make no less to me, unless maybe like a woman jobber, which is sad to say, but like I think like a jobber should be making anywhere from about $100,000 to $250,000, especially to get losing embarrassed like that. Like, and you gotta, you gotta give me something, you know.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna get my butt kicked every week for 2 years straight, like give me something, you know.
All right, last guy.
Okay,
Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder,
Woo.
He's worth a little bit more than Kurt Hawkins in my opinion, because
he hasn't been on TV.
He hasn't been on TV, but he's like a really good
They're just paying this dude to chill.
I think he's a great ambassador for the company. Mm-hmm. And he's good in the ring too. He's just, I don't know, they don't use him properly. But all right, I got a number I think they should put for him.
$400,000.
They're paying him more than I thought they are. I thought I would have guessed $300,000 for Zack Ryder. So they're paying him a little more than he's. So yeah, he's getting paid almost $500,000 to just freaking chill out, man. That's good stuff.
All right, quickly, Ronda Rousey.
I know what she's getting paid. She ain't worth it. Well, for the name recognition, I think she's worth what I think she's getting paid. So I got a number.
$1.5 million.
A little too much. I'll have guessed $1 million. For Ronda, just because of her name. If you base it just off of her in-ring ability, she's more of about a $500,000.
Becky Lynch,
she's not getting paid as much as Ronda, that's for sure. Becky Lynch is Becky's probably getting paid. Becky should be getting paid. All right, I got a number.
$250,000.
Oh no! Multiply that by about 3.
She's your top heel.
She should be about $750,000 right now. That's where she should be right now.
Okay, one last one. The Queen, Charlotte Flair.
She's probably getting paid. If Becky Lynch is getting paid $250,000, I think Charlotte should be right there with Becky in my opinion at $750,000.
$550,000.
So they're not paying Charlotte enough either. I don't think. But that's a good number for Charlotte though, over $500,000. So
all right, there we go. Are they worth it?
Yep. All right, and I think that's just about it. So Zach, a couple more things. Zach don't need to work with his girlfriend. He happy to stay at home. Yeah, you're right. He's happy to stay at home with Zack Ryder, getting paid to just show.
Smash.
He probably shows up. He probably wrestles on Main Event and stuff like that. So, which is not that hard. So, all right, Marcus, Ryan Bowman. Who else was in the chat today? Was that the only two that were in the chat? Anybody else?
And Casey Jones.
Oh, and Casey Jones made a quick appearance. So, thanks everybody for watching. We are just about out of time. So go ahead and give your final comments, and I'll get us out of here.
Yeah, make sure you follow us on Facebook and Twitter at The Average Marks. Thank you so much to all our listeners on KEZM 1310 AM and worldwide at www.kezmonline.com.
All right, let's do it.
Let's get out of here, Patrick.
Outro.
You've been listening to the Average Marks Pro Wrestling Podcast with Michael Leander and Patrick Fry. All opinions discussed in the show are those of the Average Marks and do not represent any wrestling company, organization, or individual. For more information on the show, follow us on Twitter and iTunes. AMP is a proud member of the Roar Network, powered by thegorillaposition.com.